Sleep with the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius on letting go. Hey, I'm glad you're here. It's late. And if you're anything like me, you've had a day. Maybe it was a hard day. Maybe it was just a long one. Either way, you made it here. And that's enough. Before we begin tonight, I want you to do one thing for me. Take a slow breath in and let it go. Just like that. You don't need to fix anything tonight. You don't need to figure anything out. Tonight, I just want to talk to you the way a friend would. In the quiet. Before sleep. Because I've been thinking about something lately. Something that has genuinely changed the way I end my days. And tonight, I want to share it with you. A while ago, I was going through a really difficult time. I won't go into the details, but I was carrying a lot. Worries about the future. Regrets about the past. Things I said. Things I didn't say. People I couldn't stop thinking about. And every night, I would bring all of that into bed with me. Like I was packing a suitcase, full of everything that went wrong that day, and then trying to sleep on top of it. Does that sound familiar to you? I thought so. And then one night, I stumbled across the words of a man who lived 2,000 years ago. A Roman emperor. A philosopher. A man who, despite having the weight of the entire world on his shoulders, somehow found a way to put it all down at night and sleep. His name was Marcus Aurelius. And what he taught me changed everything. Tonight, I want to share that with you. The first time I read Marcus Aurelius, I was honestly surprised. I expected something grand, formal, the kind of writing that feels far away and hard to understand. But what I found was a diary. A private diary. Written by the most powerful man in the world, for no one but himself. He never intended for anyone to read it. And yet, here we are, 2,000 years later, reading his most private thoughts before we go to sleep. There's something beautiful about that, don't you think? Marcus wrote almost every night. Not about his victories in battle. Not about his power or his empire. He wrote about the things that were bothering him. The person who was rude to him that day. The decision he made that he wasn't sure about. The fear that kept coming back. The anger he was trying to let go of. Sound familiar? He was dealing with the same things we deal with. Just 2,000 years earlier. In a toga. And what strikes me most is that he was the emperor. He had every reason in the world to feel important, to feel justified in his anger, to hold onto his grievances. But instead, every night, he sat down, and he wrote himself back to peace. I find that incredibly moving, and incredibly useful. Now, the idea that changed me most, from Marcus Aurelius, is something the Stoics called the dichotomy of control. I know, that sounds complicated. But stay with me. Because when I finally understood this, really understood it, I felt something release in my chest. Like I had been holding my breath for years, and finally, I could breathe. Here's the idea. There are things in this world that are up to you. Your thoughts. Your choices. How you respond to what happens. What you do next. And then, there are things that are not up to you. What other people think of you. What happened yesterday. What might happen tomorrow. The weather. The economy. What someone said to you today, that you're still turning over in your mind. That's it. 2 categories. Up to you. Not up to you. And Marcus spent his whole life coming back to this one simple question. Is this something within my control? If yes, then I can do something about it. Tomorrow, when I'm rested, If no, then why am I carrying it? I ask myself this question now, every single night, before I close my eyes. And it doesn't make the hard things disappear. I want to be honest with you about that. But it does something even more useful. It reminds me that I am not responsible for everything. That some things were never mine to carry in the first place. And that tonight, the most powerful thing I can do is rest. I want to take you somewhere now. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Imagine it's late at night. The year is 170 AD. Somewhere on the outskirts of Rome, in a small, quiet room, a tired man sits at a wooden desk. The only light comes from an oil lamp, flickering gently beside him. Outside, the city is asleep. This man has spent the entire day making decisions that affected millions of people. He's dealt with politicians who lied to him, generals who disappointed him, problems that had no clean solutions. His body is tired. His mind is full. And yet, he doesn't reach for wine. He doesn't pace the room. He doesn't lie awake running through everything that went wrong. He picks up his pen, and he writes. Slowly. Carefully. Today I encountered frustration. Today things did not go as I planned. But I chose how I responded. And tomorrow, I will try again. And then, he closes his journal. He looks at the flame for a moment, and he blows it out. And in the darkness of ancient Rome, the most powerful man in the world closes his eyes and lets it all go. I think about that image a lot. When I'm lying in bed and my mind won't stop, I think about Marcus blowing out his lamp, letting the darkness come. And I remind myself, he had more to worry about than I do. And even he chose to rest. So now, come back to tonight. Come back to this room. This bed. This moment. Think about your day. Was there something that didn't go the way you wanted? A conversation that felt unfinished? A decision you're second-guessing? Something someone said that you're still holding on to? I want you to try something with me. Just for tonight. Take that thing, whatever it is, and ask yourself honestly, is this within my control? If it is, then you can do something about it tomorrow. Write it down if you need to. Put it somewhere safe. And then, let it wait until morning. It will still be there. I promise. And if it's not within your control, I want you to try, just for tonight, to put it down. Not forever. Not because it doesn't matter, but because carrying it into sleep won't solve it. It will only exhaust you. And you need your rest. You need it. I want to say something to you that I really mean. You did enough today. I don't know what your day looked like. I don't know what you're carrying. But I know that you're here. Trying to take care of yourself. Trying to rest. And that tells me something about you. You are someone who is trying. And trying is enough. Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome, reminded himself of this every single night. Not because he was weak, but because he was wise enough to know that rest is not giving up. Rest is how we prepare to try again tomorrow. As you close your eyes tonight, I want to leave you with one last thought from Marcus Aurelius. He wrote, "It is enough to do good now, even if I will not remember it." I love that line. Because it means today counted. Even the parts that were hard. Even the parts that didn't go right. You showed up. You did what you could. And that is enough. You don't need to remember it perfectly. You don't need to fix it in your sleep. Tonight, you are allowed to rest. Like an emperor in an ancient room, blowing out his lamp, letting the darkness come, letting it all go. Sleep well. I'll be here tomorrow night with another story, another philosopher, another quiet conversation before sleep. But for now, good night. You did enough. You are enough. Rest now.